Hi everyone, Ben and Jennifer here, and today we are responding to your etiquette conundrum. Thank you so much for joining us on the Daily Connoisseur. I'm here with my husband Ben.
Hello.
And we asked you about a week ago to send us your etiquette horror stories, your etiquette conundrums, and everything that's bothering you in your life etiquette-wise, and we're going to be going over it in today's video. Now, just as a preface, Ben and I are not perfect. We are not saying that we have never made etiquette mistakes in the past. We are certainly guilty of committing faux pas as well, but I just like to talk about this subject. Ben, not so much. I'm kind of roping him in.
That's great. Looking forward to it. Yeah, it should be fun.
Anyway, that's where we're coming from. So with that in mind, let's just hop into the first question we have here.
All right. Erica said, "Hi Jennifer, I'd be curious to know how you recommend I handle extended family members glued to their smartphones all the time while at our home. Instead of spending time with us and our children, whom they rarely get a chance to see, they have the device in their hands all the time, even by their plate. When they're sitting at the dinner table eating the meal I slaved over. What really upsets me is that instead of playing with the kids, they will just put on cartoons on the phone without asking parents first if that's okay."
So, yeah,
Tricky one. Yeah.
That is hard. And you know what? This is actually very common because I received this from a reader, but I have heard this from a lot of people that I just know in real life. And with smartphones these days, people are just glued to their smartphone all the time. And when people come over, it is quite rude if they're on it. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, certainly it keeps the kids occupied, and it's much easier just to hand them a smartphone. And is this talking about the kids or the parents?
Well, I think it's talking about both. So I think
Right.
the parents themselves are on it, and then when the kids want to interact with them, they just give them the phone.
Well, the kids are going to do what they see the grown-ups doing. It's certainly, I think, if you want to set a good example, the grown-ups should probably leave their devices alone and make sort of polite conversation, and certainly at the dinner table, the kids shouldn't have no one should have smartphones. We've got to lead by example. And,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree. I don't think anyone should have smartphones at the dinner table. And if you are invited to someone's home, I do think it's bad manners to just be on your phone all the time. I would say keep it away. Just put it in your purse if you're a woman, or keep it in your pocket. And then, take it out if you need to take a picture. But, I mean,
most of the stuff people are looking at is just not necessary at that point in time. I mean, most of it can just be left till later, like you say, and yeah. Exactly.
I mean, what are you looking at? It's like if people are scrolling social media, you can do that when you get home. Spend time with people,
I mean, nothing's that urgent, really, is it? I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend who said that her brother-in-law would come over and be on his phone all the time. And she didn't know what to do. She's like talking to him and he would just be looking at it. So this is a very common problem.
Well, it just shows people that, your phone and your technology is more important than the person you're trying to interact with, which, I guess is rude. So, probably work on that myself.
The next one.
So Jennifer said, "Hi Jennifer, my etiquette conundrum involves meal trains. Frequently I'm asked to make a meal for a family in need, a new baby, illness, etc. And that is fine, I'm glad to help. But lately I've come to hate meal trains because each request comes with a list of must be free of gluten, soy, dairy, corn, nuts, nightshade vegetables, red meat, free of everything but water it seems. I feel like I'm delivering a bag of ice cubes. Worse still, I'm appalled by my own bad attitude. On top of that, I wonder, how is someone I may not even know very well trusting me to cook a dairy, soy, gluten-free meal for their family? I'm trying to figure out what I can do in these situations."
I found that one to be really funny about delivering the bag of ice cubes.
Good service, by the way, good charity. Thanks for helping.
Yeah, well, I have a funny story about this. I hope Ben doesn't mind telling me. But Ben's from England, and I don't think they use the term meal trains in England. I mean, is that
Meals
right?
on wheels.
Meals on
wheels.
We just had our fourth child, and so we have good friends of ours, and we were talking to the husband, in the couple, and he was mentioning how they wanted to get a meal train started for us. Ben he thought that it was just, he didn't realize it was for people who had just had a baby, right? And that this is a common practice in America.
Yeah, they thought that we were poor. We didn't have enough money to buy any food. I guess that's what I was wearing or something.
that's okay, we're fine. What did you say?
I said, you better save that for people who need more help than we do.
Yes, he said save it for people who need more help than we do. And then I was just dying. And after our friend left, I said, actually, it's just very common for people in America. It's just a nice gesture. Okay, so that's really funny. But going back to Jennifer's problem here with the meal trains, I would say, you know, the reason why you're doing this is to help the other family. And yes, it is annoying, all of the food allergies, and you had me cracking up with the nightshades, you know, thing. But, you know, the point is to be of service. So if the family is gluten, soy, nightshade, everything free, then you just do it with a happy heart. If you're going to do it, and if you are going to serve these people, just do it, even if you have to deliver that bag of ice cubes.
Well, plus, you don't want to poison them or have them, you know, getting sort of anaphylactic shock or something. You know, it's
right.
You want to make sure, if you're going to, you know, doing that sort of service, make sure you're doing it right, I guess.
Yeah.
But even though it involves a lot more than it used to, I guess.
Yes, there's a lot more allergies than there used to be, but you know, you know, the thing is that you have to just be gracious and do it. And like you said, you know, you're appalled with your own, you know, feeling like you're annoyed by this. So just do your best. And if you don't want to do it anymore, I would stop. But people really appreciate that. Meal train.
Thank you.
Says, hi Jennifer, this is from Madeline. I was once on a Sydney bus when a woman got on with her kids and sat near the front of the bus in a rear-facing seat. She then took out a container of dental floss and proceeded to floss her teeth in full view of other passengers. I was appalled and amazed in equal measure. So so she's flossing her teeth. She's not doing the floss, the dance, right? Obviously, this is just so obvious. This is a big no-no, right?
Well, I mean,
you cannot floss your teeth. You have to floss your teeth behind closed doors in your own bathroom.
Right, yeah, I've never thought about this one before. I don't think I've ever seen anyone doing it, but...
No. I would be really grossed out if I saw that. I mean, how awful. Yeah, it's just a no-no.
Is it? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, well, you don't think so?
I don't even floss my teeth anyway. Maybe I should.
Then I will be the authority on this situation. Do not floss your teeth in public.
Okay, fair enough. All right, good.
Here's one from Marilyn who says, hi Jennifer, I'm British and I live in London. My etiquette problem is with women who do full makeup on the London Underground in full view of all passengers, seemingly oblivious that others may find this a case of bad manners. This is the same thing as the flossing. Slightly less offensive.
I don't know, I mean, yeah, less offensive. Is it wrong to do your makeup in public? Why?
Well, I think that it is. I think that it's, you know, things that you do in your bathroom should just be done in your bathroom. And I don't think that you should be doing your makeup on a train while people are looking at you. Now, I think a lot of these people are rushing in the morning. They have a very busy schedule.
A meeting and they're just
and
she
just didn't get to it. I think something like getting a compact out and powdering your nose or putting lipstick on is fine. But when you've got the full-blown, you know, foundation, the full-blown routine, I do think that that's disrespectful. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not one that I've ever thought is particularly rude or bad-mannered or lacking in etiquette. No, for sure. I mean,
that's
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's the male perspective. Yeah. He doesn't care. I think women are more horrified by that, I would say. You know, so there you go. Okay, Anna said, hi Jennifer, my etiquette conundrum involves self-promotion. We are living at a wonderful time when friends are starting businesses, creating music, writing books, and offering services. I love seeing friends start side businesses and supporting them. So she's talking about, she has a very long comment, so I'm just going to truncate it here. But it's just about, you know, when do we buy, share, or take a class? When is it okay to say no? Are there limits for self-promotion and that type of thing? So I would say, yeah, I mean, you've probably noticed this if you have Facebook or any kind of social media, when your friends have a business or they're selling something or they're doing something, they'll probably mention it, right? And then there are some people who mention it once or twice, and then there's some people who mention it every day to remind you that this is what they do. So, I mean, what do you think about this?
Well, yeah, with family and close friends, you know, you don't want to keep harping on about the same thing over and over again. Yeah, just, you know, once in a while, drop it in, what you're doing, what you're up to, and, you know, as far as, you know, supporting your friends, I think it says here, of course. So, you know, support as much as we can, don't go over the top, even if I don't like the product necessarily. You know, I'll buy my friend's product or I'll give them a thumbs up. It's almost irrelevant what I like and don't like. It's, it's about supporting each other, yeah, for sure.
But as for the self-promotion aspect of that, I have to say for myself personally, I have two Facebook accounts. I have a personal account and I have a professional account. And very early on, you know, when I started writing my books and doing the blog, I knew that I didn't want my personal account. I didn't want to just post everything I do on my personal account because I didn't want to kind of spam everybody I knew with that. Do you know what I mean? So I posted like one thing and then I started my professional account and I've never mentioned anything again on my personal account. I rarely post on that one. I'll post family stuff. But as for promotion for my books and for writing and stuff, I do that all on my professional account. And I do recommend that because, you know, I do see people who have businesses that are, you know, not relevant to the friendship, you know, and then if they post every single day, for me, for a marketing perspective, I'm like, you're not hitting people here. You're just hitting your friends and they get it. We know what you do now, you know, so start a professional page. So I would definitely separate the two so that you don't exhaust your friends with it. Definitely. This is such a good one. Do you want to read this one?
Yeah, sure. This was on Facebook. Jacqueline said, my husband and I invested in great seats for a Cirque du Soleil performance. The woman seated directly behind us proceeded to loudly narrate the entire performance from start to finish. Ooh, she's climbing. Oh no, how does she do that? Oh my God, I love this song. Honey, look, he's on crutches. They were stilts. My husband shot her some stern English glares, but she was blissfully unaware. We haven't been to another concert since.
Oh, this is a pet peeve of mine.
Well, I know about the English glares.
Yes.
That's how we bring people into line.
Right, and so if she didn't respond to the English glare, she was never going to respond to anything.
Well,
right?
exactly. That didn't work, correct.
This is so rude. I mean, I've done, let's see, I did a video on this called Narcissistic Audience Members. I'll try to link it above. That, I can't. I have a theater background, and when I go to the theater, it's a very important experience for me, as it is for most people, because tickets are expensive. Parents like us rarely get a night out. If you were gonna get dressed up, go to dinner, go to Cirque du Soleil, or see a show, you want it to be a beautiful experience. That would drive me insane. I probably would have said something. I would have turned around and asked her politely to stop narrating the show.
Well, exactly. I mean, also using your cell phone in the, you know, in the theatre or whatever, it's the same thing. And just, you know, it's about being, courteous to the people around you. It doesn't take much. Just behave for a couple of hours, you know. And self-awareness as well. Like, look at yourself, observe yourself and your actions.
Right.
Bring yourself into line if you can.
It's narcissism, these people who narrate these shows, because they think everyone wants to hear what's going on in their, you know, in their head, and they don't. They came to see the performers. And I had somebody else a few years ago told me on Facebook that they went to go see a musical. I can't remember which one it was, Wicked, I think. And they were so excited, and the people behind them sang every song out loud, like at the top of their lungs, and they were so upset. And this is my pet peeve. So I would definitely turn around politely and say, would you please stop narrating the show? Thank you. Yeah,
you can't do more than that unless you know, speak to the manager of the auditorium, you know, but
Okay, we have another one on dental floss. We're going to skip that one. Okay, Madame C says, I have to bring up the etiquette of talking to pregnant women. I'm currently overdue with baby number 4, and the things I've heard over my pregnancies range from laughable to disgraceful. Okay, so I'm just gonna list some of the things she said, and by the way, I've heard almost all of these myself. Do you know what causes that? Are you going to be done now? Then, okay, we've had that one. Second, you get the comments about the number of children you have. You're going to have your hands full. Isn't 2, 3, or 4 enough? How can you afford all those children? You finally got your boy, right, in front of her daughters, okay? And then the last ones are about a woman's body. Are you sure you're not having twins? How many do you have in there? When's your due date? You look like you're about to pop. So I've had 4 children, and I have heard all of these, all of them. They have, and it is very...
Well, it's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's
like they're just trying to be nice.
Trying to be nice, make conversation, but you know, I think anytime you're commenting on a lady's body, you know, it's probably a big no-no unless you're giving just a light, polite bit of, you know, compliment. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And, I think that it is hard. I would just say... say something nice. Just say congratulations. Yeah. I'm happy for you.
Keep it simple,
you know?
And exactly.
Keep it simple, but you know, don't comment on. Do you know what causes that, and
how much it costs? I mean,
how much it costs. So rude, right?
But I like this, you know, this bit here. It says saying, you know, they thought you were pregnant when you weren't.
Yeah. I've done this before. So I have committed this. This is awful. So I met a woman at a party a long time ago. I had just had my first baby, I remember. It was at a baby shower. And she had just given birth. I didn't know that. And she still had a little bit of a belly. So out of nowhere, I was just like, oh, how far along are you? When are you due? And she said, I just had the baby. And then I died. I felt so bad, you know? So I've totally done this before. Just
so if in doubt, say nothing.
Say nothing. Yeah, if you see somebody with a belly, don't say, oh, when are you due?
Yeah. Right, Heather says, what happened to the thank you traffic wave? I let you in front of me because you couldn't merge appropriately when you should have seen the signs 100 yards back, etc. You used to get a thank you wave, not anymore, or even a simple thank you when I open the door. Can't be bothered to say thank you.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve of ours. We used to live in Los Angeles, and the house that we lived on had a road where people would park on either side, and really there was only room for one car to go through. And you know, we would always be the one to pull over and let the other car come through, and they never waved thank you, did they?
No, I mean,
in Los Angeles.
And it's strange for me as well, you know, a couple of sort of things I've noticed is if you're on the freeway and you want to sort of merge off the middle lane to pull off at the next junction, the car behind will generally, rather than just simply let you in, they'll sort of accelerate and close the gap so you can't get into the correct lane.
I know.
But yeah, waving, you know, in London, certainly I've noticed people wave all the time. They wave you into, you know, they let you come in, you know, into traffic and wave you, and everyone's waving at each other. It sort of holds up people's days with people waving all day.
I've noticed that too in England, that they are so polite with driving, and that they wave you through, they honk the horn.
Well, I mean, it'd be gridlock in London. If people didn't let you in, you know, at a junction, it would be utter gridlock. So yeah, we're kind of just used to, you know, the general let one car in, then go, then let another car in, and it seems to work quite well. And people seem very sort of more pleasant on the roads, I think, not to judge, but
yeah, they are more pleasant on the roads in England. I will definitely say that. We need to bring back the thank you traffic wave.
I think so, and just a bit more courteous on the roads. I mean, why not? You know, just slow down and just, you know, we'll all get there in good time. It's fine.
I just want to do something really quick. I want to do an Instagram flash round. We received a lot of comments, and so we just got these on Instagram. I'm going to read them quickly, and Ben and I will respond to them quickly. Okay, so Karen writes, my great uncle married a woman, and when she would start to drink alcohol, it wasn't long before she took her teeth out and put them on the table. As a kid, I will never forget the first time I saw it. What do you think?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, body parts falling out or dropping off or things like that. Probably, yeah, just...
dentures.
Dentures, yeah, I mean, keep them hidden. I don't know.
Yeah, don't take out your teeth and put them on the table. I think that one's pretty simple. It's pretty gross. I attended a funeral where several young women came in showing heaps of skin, and each had a takeaway cappuccino, which they proceeded to slurp the whole service. At another funeral, a man sitting next to me answered his phone and proceeded to have a loud conversation about who had died and who the deceased was related to and how long he would be there before he could meet the caller. Yes, at a funeral you need to be on your best behavior, I think.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you know, it's just about paying respects for the, you know, the deceased, and it's not about you. It's just show up.
If you have to take a call, leave. And go outside.
Well, I mean, turn your phone off.
Right, turn your phone off. I mean, unless it's an emergency.
You know, I mean, yeah. It's like, I'm sure people will understand. You know, I was at a funeral, I couldn't answer my phone. It's yeah, just turn it off.
Right.
But
I agree.
And coffees at a funeral, I don't know.
No. Yeah.
No coffees at a funeral.
I mean, at the after, what's it called, the wake?
At the wake.
At the wake.
Yeah, have a drink at the wake.
Yeah. Wait till the wake. Don't drinking a cappuccino in the please. Okay. We live in a destination city. When people visit, we host and pay. When we visit them in a non-destination city, we still pay. So confusing.
Well, is it to do with the city or is it to do with the friends? I mean,
right.
I don't know. I've never heard that one where there's some etiquette involved with. If you're in a destination city, then you don't have to pay.
Right. That's true.
No. It's about the friends, and yeah, I mean that should all even out if they're understanding friends. Yeah, they'll pay one time, you pay the next. It's fine.
Right, yeah. I mean, That is hard. I guess it sounds like it happens with more than one. Well, when you live in a destination city, people visit you a lot. That's the thing. You know, we used to live in Santa Monica. People would just love to visit us, just to visit, and you know, because it's a place where everybody wants to be. So, and then yeah, you feel like when someone visits you, you need to treat them and take them out. I always laugh because I say Ben is always so generous. It doesn't matter where we are or what the situation is. He always offers to pay for when we go to a restaurant. He does. Oh, it's on me. And I'm like thinking, let them pay for once. You know, we always pay. Yeah. So I would just say keep it even, and you know, you pay one, and you know, if they don't pay, then you just have to. I don't know. What do you think? Keep paying?
I don't know. Just don't invite them.
Yes, don't invite them. That's even better.
Daphne said, I'm often at a loss when visiting my in-laws, as they are not versed in etiquette or manners of any kind. They blatantly ignore me and speak only to my husband. They do not offer a welcome of any kind, nor even a place to sit. I'm often left wondering exactly what to do with myself. Also, this has been their way for the whole of the 16 years I've been married to my husband. Your insight on this is greatly appreciated. In-laws, yeah, always a tricky one.
That's tricky. So it sounds like her in-laws ignore her when they're over at her house. Yeah, I mean, what do you say to that?
Yeah, it must be very uncomfortable. I mean, every time you go over there to be ignored like that. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you could just sit them down and maybe say something, but it sounds like if it's been happening for 16 years, you know, sometimes you just have to accept the way people are. And just be nice to them. You know?
Well, that's the time to pull out your cell phone, isn't
it? Okay, here's a good one. My in-laws are dog people. I love dogs too, but in their home they feed the dogs from their plates, and the dogs bark and claw at me while I'm eating there, hoping for food from my plate, which I don't give. Also, the huge dogs jump onto my children and knock them down. My in-laws think this is cute and normal. They don't train their many dogs, and the dogs, let's see, have no manners. When I don't give the dogs food from my plate, and when I tell the dogs not to jump on the kids, my in-laws get offended. Going to visit them is a fraught experience. Is there anything I can do?
Well, you could have a word with them and say you don't like your clothes being ruined by the dogs, and you don't like the dogs jumping up on the kids, and just politely tell them, you know, if the dogs continue to be doing that they won't be coming around.
Yeah.
You know.
Or just maybe to ask them to put the dogs in a different room if they really bother you or something.
Yeah,
I would
it's
say.
not that hard to lock them away for an hour or so, you know.
Right, yeah. I mean, you don't want them knocking down your kids.
Hi Jennifer, I've been waiting for the right opportunity to ask you my question. I have many close friends who are consistently asking how much money my husband and I make. Oh. I always thought that was impolite to ask someone, and it's always awkward when I have to keep making jokes about how we make enough without revealing a number. They also tend to tell me about how much they make or how much their raises that they have received. And I also find that awkward because I didn't ask and I didn't want to know. Any input you have on this topic would be appreciated. Thank you, from Sarah.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's rude. Talking about your, you know, sniffing around other people's financial matters is definitely, you know, bad manners. It's like no one else's business. If someone wants to openly reveal that information in conversation, then entirely up to you, but really, yes, certainly a private matter. Right.
I would say definitely don't ask people how much they make, or don't even care. I mean, just mind your own business.
It's irrelevant, yeah. It's irrelevant. You know, it's you don't really need to know. That would just be, just general nosiness, you know, which is, bad manners.
Right. Karen writes, I'm always appalled when I send gifts to family members and never hear a word back from them. No thank you, no email, text, no acknowledgement whatsoever. When I sent $100 checks to my 4 nieces and nephews last summer with a heartfelt note for their high school graduations, I never heard a peep from any of them. I know that the cards were received as all the checks were cashed quickly. I've been tempted to say something to the parents, but I've bitten my tongue to avoid an awkward scene. This, of course, doesn't happen with every relative, just one family in particular. It makes the kids seem entitled and ungrateful, and I've lost all enthusiasm for sending gifts to them in the future. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, well, what do you think?
I think, it is
a generous gift, isn't it?
It's rude to not send a thank you. You have to send a thank you card.
I would think so, yeah.
I mean, at the very least, an email, right? But I would suggest to, you know, sit down, take the time to write out a note and mail it, you know, or hand it to
Well, kids aren't going to just sort of on their own devices get a pen and paper out and write a thank you note. You know, they need to be prompted into it.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to look over their shoulder the entire time to make sure it's done.
That's right.
You know, you can't just expect them to do it.
Yeah. I have a book coming out in the fall called Connoisseur Kids, and there's a whole section on this. So, you know, the best thing to do is when you receive a gift to immediately write the card, you know, because you'll forget, or you'll, you know, you get busy.
Yeah,
so
it's like a traffic ticket. Pay it immediately, and you don't have to think about it.
Exactly. Also, I just wanted to say that obviously when you give a gift, you should never expect anything in return. So if you don't get a card, then you just have to let that go. It is rude, but isn't that saying, you know, don't give to receive, basically. So while I do think, yes, they should be writing thank you cards, at the same time, you know, if you expect something back and you just don't get it, then maybe stop giving the gift.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with just a pair of socks. You know, $100 is quite a lot.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I mean, I love when Ben is with me in my videos.
Thanks for having me, yeah.
Because I love his
perspective. And I'll just add as well, you know, it's not about changing other people or wanting them to change or anything like that. You know, it's really just, I've just got to work on myself. I can't, you know, if I'm constantly sort of pointing the finger at other people, it's just not the way to go. Yeah, no, if I just work on myself, then that is much better, I think. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's perfect advice. Yeah, just take care of yourself with these situations. You know, hopefully this video will reach a lot of people, and if you've ever committed one of these faux pas, like dental flossing on the tube, then you won't do it again. But yes, all we can really do is work on ourselves, and we are all works in progress, and you know, none of us are perfect. So we just want to thank you so much for joining us today on the Daily Connoisseur, and let me know if you'd like to see another one of these videos in the future. I have a feeling the answer will be yes.
Well, thanks for having me, yeah.
Thank you, and we'll see you in our next video.
Thank you.
Bye.